Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Charlottesville's virtual service. We have been here all these months holding the space for our community, all of us here, doing what we can to reach out and lift each other up and support us during these challenging times. It's wonderful to see your faces out there. I can see a few of you, some from all the way on the West Coast. Our daughter Jen is here. It's so wonderful to see her and all the wonderful people in our community. Before we start, I'd like to ring the bells gently. We experimented. Rhonda and I were saying, we missed the bells. So we're going to ring the bells gently and just breathe and listen to the tone. With a deep breath out as the sound subsides. We begin with prayer, as we do every Sunday morning. Mother, Father, God, sweet, sweet divine Spirit, in our hearts and our minds, all around us, in every situation we find ourselves in, we know you are present. And we reach out in gratitude this day, our hearts lifted up with the opportunity to join together in prayer from right where we are, in our living rooms, or possibly cars, or wherever we're tuning in from. Just take a moment and reach out the energy from our heart, from one heart to another. Just imagine that we were all in this room together, where there is no time or space in divine reality. And today we lift up in prayer for peace, for healing, for strength, those who are affected by the Hurricane Delta, that they would be strengthened, that all they need would be at hand. Their needs would be met, their hearts uplifted. Also reach out to the peoples of Ganja where they have had some unrest. Comfort them. Hold them up in divine love. Prayers for our community here at Unity of Charlottesville. We see all people walking strong and straight and healthy and whole and prosperous. But this light of God shines brightly within each one. See our sanctuary here filled with light. And we will again return, and we can see our sanctuary filled with people. One day. Reaching out now to those throughout the country who are in sorrow, in any kind of upset, that the peace of God settles like a soft blanket on their shoulders, reminding them who they are, reminding them of their power and their oneness with all. Lifting up all those who have been affected by the coronavirus, that they too would be lifted up in spirit, their bodies return to wholeness. Now we see our entire world surrounded with the light of God. Seeing all beings at peace. Seeing our Mother Earth at peace. calming the hurricanes, calming the fires, bringing gentle rain where there is fire, and drying up the rain where there is too much, that we see balance in our world. And now let's all take a nice deep breath together in and out, knowing our collective thoughts together are powerful. And we pray this and affirm this done in the name and through the nature of the indwelling Christ. And so it is. Amen. Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, you can wave, do our internet wave. I can see everyone's fingers waving. So good to see you all. Next up, we have as celebration assistants, you've been used to seeing Dawn and Patricia. I am obviously not Patricia. And this next person is obviously not Dawn, but is someone you know and love, and it is Rhonda Cooley. And she is the celebration assistant today. And she's going to talk a little bit about our tech things coming up. So please welcome Rhonda. And unmute yourself, Rhonda.
Something's in the middle here. I am unmuted. Good morning, everybody. I am live from Lyndhurst, and I'm here to help you get online with us. We have a number of ways through Facebook, as you know, Zoom, and if you're having any technical difficulties, just email the email there you see on the screen. And out of respect, we also want to make sure we're muted and not talking during the service and not using the chat during meditations or prayers. We appreciate that. And we also have watch parties now on Facebook where you can kind of do it as a group. And of course, we're always here together. We want to reach out and get to as many people as we can.
Thank you, Rhonda. The next thing I'd like to do is a daily word. There may be some of you out there who are daily word fans like me. I always used to, when I create a lesson, when I was a youth and family ministry director, I'd go to a daily word first, and it would just frame everything so beautifully. And today's daily word is about surrender. And you'll see there on your screen is an affirmation. So I know we are virtual and it wouldn't work to unmute, but we'll just do it together. We'll say this wonderful affirmation. Together, as I surrender to God, a world of divine possibilities opens to me. Let's say it again. As I surrender to God, a world of divine possibilities opens to me. I may have been taught that in order to show strength of character, I can never give up or give in. Perhaps this stick-with-it attitude does build a strong willpower, but I can be so intent on working on willpower, I forget to use divine power. I surrender to God is an affirmation of faith that will get me believing and moving in a more powerful way. What do I surrender to God? I surrender the need to always do things my way. I surrender the feeling that I am working through my challenges alone. I surrender the mistaken idea that something good is impossible. In surrendering, all thoughts and attitudes that would hold me back from great possibilities float away. Peaceful feelings replace any anxious feelings. I surrender to God. These 4 words, spoken in faith, awaken me to a divine power that makes all good possible. Inspired by Luke chapter 18, verse 27, what is impossible for mortals is possible for God. And please join us together in our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Ooh, I claim a blessing. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on its way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Lift my thoughts to higher ground, knowing miracles are all around. Each day unfolds as it should when I'm focusing on my good. Life is filled with opportunities, say I wonder what good is coming to me. Oh, I claim a blessing. I claim it. 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 Oh, I claim a blessing. Claim it.
Claim it. I've never sung with myself before like that. So here we are in community together, and let us affirm our mission statement together. Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone. Oh, let's wait, here we go. Together, our mission statement. Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world. And so it is.
I used to think I had to have my own way, could do everything all on my own. Living my life like a one-woman play, feeling confused and alone. Still I held on tight to the life that I knew, till it wasn't the life I remembered. Finally admitted I hadn't a clue, I'd open my arms in surrender. for help when I need it. Being happy, just doing the best that I can. When I stumble, I won't be defeated. When I made room for grace, I just stepped aside and opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day since I made room for grace. When I kept insisting on all that I wanted, I see how I sold myself short. But when I stopped resisting, I got what I needed and so much more. When I made room for grace, I just stepped aside and opened up a space. So the blessings arrive since I made room for grace. I just stepped aside and opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day since I made room for grace. Since I made room for grace. Making room for grace. Today's talk title, From Oh No to Opportunity. There's plenty of room for grace in that. When's the last time you said, oh no? You know, I heard the story of two boys, they're brothers, and they woke up on Christmas morning. And one brother had a full stocking of everything he had asked for and more. And the other brother had a stocking overflowing with horse poo. Now, while many of us, me included, might have said, oh no, what is going on? This child said, oh boy. His brother turned to him and said, why are you so excited? You have a stocking full of horse poo. Well, the brother with the stinking stocking said, with all that horse poo, there's got to be a horse around here somewhere. This boy called forth his blessing. He had faith in the good that was present, even though the situation looked bleak. Oh no. Think about the last time you said that. And if you'd like to share, think about it for a minute and put them in the chat. The last time you said, oh no. And while you're thinking and typing, I will put in some of mine, or talk about some of the times I said it in the past. Oh no, I had a blowout on the freeway and totaled our car. Oh no, I had to take a medical leave of absence when I was finishing my dissertation. Oh no, I lost my job. During these COVID times, there have been plenty of situations people could have said, plenty of times where they have said, oh no. So I'm looking at some of the chats. Someone said, they had a car accident on Wednesday. Oh no. When they found out when Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed. Oh no. When we got a flat tire the other day. Oh no. Here's our oh no baby. So cute. And sometimes, you know, Dawn shared last week, an oh no situation, when he talked about getting fired from his job. He led us through such a wonderful talk on dreaming your best life after having hit the wall. Well, this talk is more about hitting the wall. If you find yourself squirming uncomfortably in your chair, that's okay. I promise you, it ends well. Think about it for a minute. Did Jesus ever say, oh no? Well, he sure could have. Oh no, we have to feed all these people. Oh no, we need money for taxes. Oh no, our ship will capsize. Oh no, all these people are so sick. But then that's not so inspiring, now is it? There is never a time when it's documented where Jesus says, oh no, but I'm sure his disciples said it, or its equivalent, plenty, especially, or at least at first. You know, Jesus knew the principle of looking beyond what is seen here in this third dimensional world all around us to seeing with the eyes of truth. Many of you might be familiar with this verse from 2 Corinthians 5:7. We live by faith, not by sight. We live by faith, not by sight. Well, here's that same passage from the Bible translation called The Message. That's why we live with such good cheer. You won't see us drooping our heads or dragging our feet. Cramped conditions here don't get us down. They only remind us of the spacious living conditions ahead. It's what we trust in, but don't yet see that keeps us going. Do you suppose a few ruts in the road or rocks in the path are going to stop us? I had to smile when I read this. I could just imagine the disciples in some difficult situation traversing the ruts in the road. Every time the disciples may have said, oh no, Jesus saw an opportunity for a blessing, and he delivered a miracle. He fed the 10,000. He pulled a coin from the mouth of a fish to pay the taxes. He calmed the seas and he healed the sick. Now, Jesus went from oh no kinds of situations to opportunities for blessings and miracles. Can we do that
She
too?
might be okay, but she's,
What would it take to manifest miracles instead of messes? Well, we know living in fear has us vibrate at the level of that which we fear. We become a giant magnet for what we don't want. How about faith? Faith to see beyond appearances to the truth. This is where the work is, where the rubber meets the road, where the theory is put to the test. Can we do this alone? Should we even try? It takes faith to move beyond appearances to the truth. Sometimes when we are at our lowest point, our faith feels so far away, and it's very hard to see the truth of what is so in the situation. When we experience a loss of loved ones by our side, loss of fortune or business, loss of our health or the health of a loved one, having the faith, the strength to see beyond the appearance of what is right in front of us may feel next to impossible. Well, I'm here to say, holy cow, don't power through alone. God is with us. Jesus is with us as he promised in Matthew 28:20. I am with you always, even unto the ends of the ages. You know, he told this to his disciples after he had ascended. Here's another message from Jesus in Matthew 11:28-30, the way he might say it today from the Message Bible. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. You may recognize the more traditional translation of this same passage. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Now, here's what Myrtle Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, wrote in her book, How to Let God Help You, about trying to do it all ourselves. She said, sick and diseased bodies are the result of man's flagrant errors in trying to solve the world's problems without God's help. I'm going to read that again. It struck me so much when I read this just a few weeks ago. Sick and diseased bodies are the result of man's flagrant errors in trying to solve the world's problems without God's help. What happens when we do that? Try to solve the world's problems without God's help? Stress. The stress that gets created when we think we have to do it all ourselves. So what is stress exactly? You know, it's defined as mental or emotional strain resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. Scientists have known for some time that stress negatively influences conditions like diabetes and heart disease. When we take the world's burdens on our shoulders without accessing divine mind, it creates stress because we work to do things from our ego mind and are not following guidance from divine mind, which then, of course, leads to more stress. So what must we do? When you find yourself saying, oh no, follow up with saying, oh yes, I remember to surrender this to God. Surrender first the ego mind and let the divine mind enfold you. Step away from the thoughts that ensnare you and keep you playing a small game. Think of that ego mind as that perpetual 2-year-old that lives inside of you. You know, most of us have seen a 2-year-old in action, wanting another cookie, wanting a toy in the store, or not wanting to go to bed on time. What about as an adult? What does that 2-year-old want now? You may want just this particular certain job, or a certain house, a certain relationship. You may still want that cookie. You may even ignore all the signs that try to lead you to your good. If we are latched on to that ego mind, it's pretty difficult to see the path to your highest good. I have a story from my own life to share that illustrates how I really held on so much to what I wanted, even though it was clear it couldn't happen. In 2003, I had many oh no kinds of situations. My mother had died at the end of August from complications of breast cancer, just days after we had to sell our house and move back to a rental house that was much smaller and older than the one we left. I sure couldn't see any opportunity for a blessing in the midst of it. I was teaching middle school at the time, and I just chose to power through each day on my own. I almost had no memory of the entire first semester I taught that year. My world had turned upside down. I kept up my prayer and meditation practice with Mark, something we've done since we were first married. I also kept going to services at our Unity Spiritual Center in Albuquerque. These things were wonderful and they supported me. But underneath it, to be quite honest, there was a strong feeling that I didn't like how it was all working out. I resisted what was all around me, and I kept hanging on to what I wanted. The stress I was under affected my health. But little by little, I started to accept the situation. I started to wake up to my opportunities. We decided to buy another home together with my 86-year-old stepfather, who had been living alone since my mother's transition, and he had been withdrawing more and more. In this way, living together, we could support him and he us. It was a good arrangement. The first dinner we ate in the new house was on my mother's birthday. It was a wink from the universe, I think. Something that told me that all was well and in divine order. Just 9 months before was the lowest point I had been in my life. Then 9 months later, here I was with my home restored even better than it had been before, and an opportunity for us to grow as a family together with my dad under the same roof. I'd like to be able to tell you I was able to surrender and everything fell into place magically. That's not the truth, though. Surrender to me, honestly, had felt like giving up. Somehow a triumph didn't count if I didn't do it all on my own. And as a result, I suffered greatly. And I hate to say it, I have fallen into that pattern again and again. Although now, as I am practicing more and more, seeing surrender in a positive light, the lessons learned come more quickly. Here's what my oh no looks like. I power through on my own. I pray and meditate. I stay connected. And on the outside, it looks like a good strategy. And it is an important part of the picture. But what's true is I never surrender fully. I still hold on to the way I think it needs to be done. In 2003, my way would have been that my mother had a miraculous healing and we kept our lovely home. That actually wasn't in the highest good for me or others, however. The highest good for all played out while I suffered all along the way. I am not discounting the sorrow I had in missing my mother. That was all absolutely necessary and right. But the suffering, that was my own doing. The next time you say, oh no, follow it with, oh yes, I remember to surrender. Cast your burdens. My yoke is easy. After you have cast your burdens, follow up with a practice that brings you into the present and reminds you of your divine source. You may need to do this multiple times in a day when you are in the midst of a challenging situation. You might have some favorite things you like to do. I'm going to give you a practice that's based on Unity's 5 principles that I have been using lately that I really like. You know, Unity's 5 principles are more than just an ideology. They're actually a roadmap about how to live our lives, especially when times get tough. When Mark and I were Youth of Unity sponsors in Albuquerque, we came up with what we called the YOU snappy versions of Unity's 5 principles. Some of these phrases we borrowed and others we created, but the idea was to make the 5 principles easy to remember for our teens and then apply them to our lives. We talked about it even to the adults in the community, and they said, we want to learn those too, because it was something that they could hang on to that was easy, and then they could apply it. So I'm going to go over them in the talk, and then we'll practice them in the meditation with your personal oh no situation. You might think, you can start thinking about that oh no situation now. It may be a situation that you're still dealing with, that you have some disquiet about. There's probably multiple things, but just choose one that's just prevalent in your mind. Are you ready? Here they are. Here's Unity principle number 1. There is not a spot where God is not. You may have heard it more like this. There's only one power and one presence active in the universe in my life, God the good, omnipotent. So what is the concept behind this? That God is everywhere, even in the most challenging situations. There is God to be found. There is good to be found. Repeat after me. There is not a spot where God is not. There is not a spot where God is not. Next, we have Unity principle number 2. The Christ presence is our essence. The more traditional version goes, our essence is of God. Therefore, we are inherently good. This God essence was fully expressed in Jesus Christ. Since humans are made in the image of God, the divine spark is in each one, even in those we disagree with. Call forth this divine spark, this divinity, in all those involved in this oh no situation. Repeat after me. The Christ presence is our essence. The Christ presence is our essence. Now, Unity principle number 3. What you think about, you bring about. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Now, that is not to say that if you think of something, it immediately gets created. Rather, repetitive ways and habits of thinking create the energy of the thing you are thinking about over and over. As like attracts like, as a magnet attracts to metal, your thoughts will, over time, attract to you their energetic equivalent. That is why mindfulness is so important. Pay attention to what you're thinking. What are you thinking about? What are you feeling about? In unity, we use denials and affirmations to remind ourselves of the truth. And in the meditation, I'll be doing some examples of denials and affirmations you can use. Here's the unity principle number 3. Repeat after me. What you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. Here's unity principle number 4. I connect with God today when I meditate and pray. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. Pray without ceasing, it tells us in 1 Thessalonians chapters 5, verse 17. This is keeping God foremost in your consciousness. And when we are able to do that, we do not leave the space for negative thoughts and emotions to go around and around and around in our minds. Please know that I am not telling you to bury your feelings. They are important indicators for what is going on. Pay attention, listen to them, but don't give them center stage any longer than you have to. Repeat after me. I connect with God today when I meditate and pray. I connect with God today when I meditate and pray. And now, unity principle number 5. Putting truth in action brings satisfaction. Knowing about these principles is not enough. We must put them in action in our lives. Sometimes we don't know the actions to take. That's when you ask yourself this question. What is mine to do? Ask for a clear sign to move forward. What is mine to do? Then take action. You know, Thich Nhat Hanh says, once there is seeing, there must be action. Otherwise, what is the use of seeing? It is his birthday today, by the way. Thich Nhat Hanh is 94 years young. Happy birthday. Repeat after me. Putting truth in action brings satisfaction. Putting truth in action brings satisfaction. I find for myself, when I say use me, the feelings of resistance drop away. Here's a song that I love that I'm just going to sing a part of, called Use Me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Here is where faith comes in. Faith says, take the step now. All is well. Hope says, in the future, it could happen. Right now, you may not have the faith that says what you're experiencing is a blessing, or you might not have the faith to take the next indicated step. That's all right. Surrender again. Hope can tide you over. I have a movie clip I want to share with you. It's from a movie called Elizabeth, the Golden Age. And this is a scene where Sir Walter Raleigh describes to the Queen what it is like to sail on the open seas. Enjoy. Sometimes Your oh no is so big, you even lose hope. Unity's 5 principles can help us center and get back to God. Remember, the next time you say, oh no, follow it up with, oh yes, I remember to surrender. Go through Unity's 5 principles and be open for opportunities for blessing. Land, life, true adventure, the new world. Know your blessing is coming. Namaste. And now we're going to prepare for our meditation. So just settle in, and we have a beautiful song that Blair did for us. Settle in your space, put your feet flat on the floor if you can. Take some nice, slow, even breaths.
God is with me everywhere I go. Knowing this, I am not alone. I am calm and safe at all times. Nothing can disturb my peace of mind. Nothing can disturb my peace of mind. When storms of change turn my skies to gray, and the life I know is swept away, if I choose to see things differently, the storm will lose all power over me. Nothing can disturb my peace of mind. And even through the pitch black night, I know the touch of soft first light will lift my soul. Everything will be all right. God is with me everywhere I go. Knowing this, I am not alone. I am calm and safe at all times. Nothing can disturb my peace of mind. Nothing can disturb my peace of mind. God is here.
Thank you, Blair, for that beautiful song to bring us into a peaceful state. Settle into your space a little more. Put your feet flat on the floor if you can. Take a deep breath in and raise your shoulders. And let your breath out and slowly lower your shoulders while taking slow, even breaths. I invite you to focus on your heart space. I always begin my meditations with heart coherence. So you may want to put your hand over your heart. Feel the loving energy that is generated in this space. Next, I invite you to imagine that your breath is going in and out of your heart rather than your lungs. Feel the air feeding your heart, making it light as you breathe in and out. I invite you to think of someone or something you appreciate. Letting that feeling of appreciation fill your body. And from this place of peace, I invite you to think of an oh no situation that may be present for you right now. Just hold it gently in your hands. Surrender what you think it should look like or what you think you should do. Meditate now on unity principle number 1. There is not a spot where God is not. God is good and everywhere present, even in this challenge. See the light of God shining in and around and through all parts of this challenge. Now, principle number 2, that Christ's presence is my essence. That Christ's presence dwells in me and in all those involved. Connecting our hearts together in the love of God. See that Christ's presence getting brighter and clearer in all those involved. Now, unity principle number 3. What I think about, I bring about. This situation has no power to take away my peace. Peace is within me, unshakable. Fear has no power over me. I am filled with faith, knowing I am guided. I am filled with faith, knowing I am guided. Principle number 4. I connect with God today as I meditate and pray. I affirm and call for the highest and best outcome in this situation. I see myself filled with peace and with joy and with gratitude. And now principle number 5. Putting truth in action brings satisfaction. I see clearly what is mine to do, and I take guided action. Use me, oh God, use me. Surrender your ego mind to the divine mind. Surrender your fear and breathe in faith. Let go of how you think it should be or what you think you should do. Let the answers flow to you in the silence. I see clearly what is mine to do, and I take guided action. God's got this. I know the presence of God is in and around me now. I see clearly the path to travel. And as we all take a deep breath together and let it out. Come back to this place, this time. You might want to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Take the knowing with you. That knowing God's got this turns out well. It all works out. Let's all take another deep breath together. And let it out. See the light in all those oh no situations. It's just dissolving any troubles and challenges and showing you the path to take. Thank you, God. So it is. Well, as we come back to this space, I am reminded of how grateful I am to be a part of this community, to be able to bring this every Sunday. This big team of people that are making it all happen. So grateful to see your smiling faces, at least two-dimensionally, on the other side of the camera. And if we'll talk about a little bit about our annual fall fundraiser, if Mark could bring up that slide. Talk a little bit about that. Many of you may know it is time. Our annual fantastic fall fundraiser, nice little bit of alliteration there for you, started last week. We have a wonderfully generous donation from Janice Gilmore of $15,000 that she will match with our $15,000 as we go above and beyond our regular giving. She will match $15,000 if we can do this by November 22nd. And we actually have set a rather audacious goal of $50,000. And I was thinking in the talk, like, oh no, we need money. We don't have any coins to pull out of fish, although I'm not discounting that. But we have ways. God has ways. And they're not our ways. And they're not ours to know, but just ours to do what we are guided to do. Now the next slide is just being thankful for our blessings. And I just want to express my gratitude in this community, my gratitude for the prosperity that is mine, the prosperity we all have as a community. Just be thankful for that, lifting us all up. And next, I'm going to introduce Mark, who's going to talk about some changes we have in our giving. It should be easier now.
Hang on. There we go. Hi, everyone. And I just want to let you know that you cannot. I'm unmuted.
No, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Give thumbs up if you guys can hear me. There's always been easy ways to give here at Unity of Charlottesville, and we're in the midst of an exciting new program where we're going to start using a service called tithe.ly for all of our giving. So when you go to the website and when you click on your giving, you're going to see something that looks a little different. You can see the Tithely logo there on the left, and ultimately it's going to make it easier to give at Unity of Charlottesville on any device that you have in any way. It's also going to save us a whole lot of money, and shortly we're going to have a fully functioning app to go along with this. But for right now, we're just starting with the give portion while we're doing all the other, and a new directory also will come along with it built into the app, make it even easier to connect with each other. So now whenever you go to give, you're going to see something like this. And whereas the old giving showed everything all the way down, this one, there'll be a little icon. You can see the Fantastic Fall Fundraiser. Charles Fillmore is alive and well and is donating to that this week. But when you click on that little triangle, it'll show all the different areas to give. And also, we have a new phone number for those that like to text to give, 844-636-0061. And then they'll give you the directions to follow. And of course, you can always mail in your love offerings. We get quite a few in the mail. Thank you so very much. I share the gratitude that Ayesha just shared. Mm-hmm. And there's our address there. You can see the address on the website. It comes up readily. And I think that this is going to move over to Ayesha again.
Actually, I think this is Rhonda.
Oh, over to Rhonda.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, am I there?
Yes.
I was just doing the new app. It's easy.
Yay, Rhonda.
So I hold my phone, which has my tithe in it, as representation of that source. So let us all hold our tithes and offerings in our hands and our hearts and know that it goes out to do the good for all, our community, our church, and each other, especially in these times where many people are in need. So together, let us do the blessing of tithes and offerings. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Mother.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do his thing.
Look like the weight of the world's on your back. Take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what it is if you wanted to. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do his thing.
The sun's gonna shine, the river's gonna flow, the tide's gonna rise without your say-so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plant a seed, then dig it up to see if it's growing. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do his thing.
Yeah,
Get out the way and let
God do his thing.
So a reminder about this, every Wednesday, am I on? We have a prayer and share during the midweek. It is now from 6:30 to 7 p.m. for your faith lift, which we all need. And I think Mark's going to talk about Men of Unity.
Yes, and I'm going to jump in and talk about the women.
Women.
Community
I was
first.
going to be first today. Nope,
Okay,
it's you, Ayesha. Sorry.
that's what I thought. All right. Well, women and men of Unity are coming up this Thursday already. It seems really quick, but it's actually this Thursday already, since the first Thursday of the month came on the 1st. So we have Women of Unity. This week we are honored to have PMH Atwater guiding us, and she's going to be giving a presentation to us. Starts at 7. Look at your weekly email to see the link Then when it comes out, Mark will send it out, 7 o'clock. Hope to see you then.
And the Men of Unity is going to be coming just slightly later, still on Thursday at 7:30. And our co-leader, Jeff Barkley, chose the subject, which fits in delightfully with this Sunday's talk, which is positivity in the hardest moments can make a difference. And if you substitute principle, like the principles that we talked about, principles in the hardest moments can make a difference. So we watch a video and then we have a great deep conversation afterwards. And anyone is invited to come. And since we're virtual, it's no longer limited to just the Charlottesville area. If you're out there and away from Charlottesville, please join us. You can find the link in our weekly email, or just go to our website and go to the calendar, or look for our update on the men group whenever you look at the front page. So next, I want to talk a little bit while I have your attention. Next week will be another virtual Zoom service like we're doing this week. And afterwards, stay on the Sunday meeting. Instead of the fellowship time, we're going to have our annual meeting. And you must be in attendance in order to vote. And because of the challenges of COVID, we're going to do everything electronically. There's no paper absentee ballots, and you must join. And you can contact the office during the week, Monday through Thursday, between 10 and about 4:30 or so, and get help if you don't know how. And we will have electronic ballots, and we invite you all to come. You don't have to only be a voting member to come. We invite everybody to come and hear all the good that's happening in our church, and hear the plans that we have coming up, and the reports from all our different ministers and ministries on what's been taking place. Also, we're having next Saturday a celebration of life for Kathy Collier. And she passed away a few weeks ago, and it's going to be a Zoom service also at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And now the family has sent out many email invitations because, of course, Zoom limits the number of people to only 100. And they sent out to everyone that they thought was close to Kathy. But if you feel like you want to attend, but you've not received already an invitation in the mail, please just send a request to unityofcharlottesville@gmail.com, or call the office during business hours, and I'll make sure that an invitation gets sent out to you as we celebrate her life. That will go to Rhonda.
And of course, we have prayer as the basis of our community, and we have a wonderful pastoral care team that is always available for prayers. Make a note of that. It is right there, pastoral care at unitycharlottesville.org. And stay on with us today for a virtual fellowship. We'll just go parlay right in from the peace song into the Zoom virtual fellowship. If you're not on Zoom, you can hop on and get to see everybody. It's been a long time since we've all been together.
Now I think is Kate around?
Yep. Kate, are you there?
Yes, here I am. Yeah.
Can we spotlight her?
My connection I had today was I'm indoors because of the rain, and I live out here in the woods. But just wanted to say hello to all of our youth ed families, and we are hoping to do an in-person youth ed church service the next time that Unity of Charlottesville has an in-person service. So keep your eyes out for that announcement. It will, of course, be socially distanced with games and activities that don't involve getting close to each other, but loving each other from afar. And for now, we will continue loving each other from afar with our lesson. Or if you could put that up. I don't see the children's lesson, but maybe we can just all say it together from knowing it off the top of our head. So children,
Children,
unit
teens,
teens, YOUers, teachers, and parents.
parents.
You are
You are
loved,
loved.
special, and important. It is so true. We love you. Mwah. That's all from me.
Thank you, Kate. Hi, I'm back. Thank you, Kate. And we bless all the children in our community, thinking of them now as they're back in school, many of them, most of them virtually, just holding them in peace and light and love and healing, protection. Well, I just want to thank everyone for today's service. Thanking first Rhonda for her celebration assistant and her willingness to do this crazy online thing. That was so great, Rhonda, thank you. And also thanks to our tech team. We have Mark and John there in the back of the sanctuary, making sure everything's running smoothly. We have Bob and Ann virtually in their homes, letting people in and making sure they mute people or unmute as necessary. And all of you for being here, holding the space, keeping the faith, keeping the hope, even the shadow of hope on the horizon that we're all coming together again. That these oh no experiences, whatever we have, are resolving in the highest good. It's all in divine order. We surrender it all. And now, please, let's join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well.
Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, and this peace unfold now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and every moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Peace, everybody.